EIDL loans heat up as more people get approved faster, but could that next person be you? Hey, good evening, everybody. This is LALATE. Thank you for joining me for Evenings LALATE, our 1-hour programming block at night that includes the check and EIDL, with big exciting news, if you didn't catch it minutes ago, about the check. There is a likelihood of a second stimulus package approval and agreement next week. You got to watch that video. Really, really shocking. I know a lot of you are dropping questions about the check and the package in yesterday's EIDL video, but this one's about EIDL specifically, that SBA grant that is governed by a woman that loves some scars, even this 90-degree weather today with bad lighting and things flying, and here I am. Well, welcome. The common questions I am getting from EIDL applicants this week is that I didn't know I could get this, and I didn't know I can get that. Let me tell you what's going on. A lot of you are now realizing that this pandemic is going to be a lot worse than you had ever anticipated, and you think that we're going to go into next year, and your business needs more money, or you had another business and you didn't think to get a loan about it, and you're like, I think I'd rather have that loan than not. Let me go over the importance of getting that application on file and how fast it can get funded. First of all, applications are being funded literally, applications are being approved literally within 6 hours. I got one approved yesterday within 6 hours. Funding takes about a week. A lot of people are asking me, it takes a little while to get the funds in the account, but the good news is it comes. If you do the calculation, I did the video yesterday about the calculation, cost of goods, revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. Line 1 and line 2 on your 2019 tax return. If you do that and it comes out to a number, and let's say it's $50,000 or $80,000, that's a loan you can get, and they will give you that loan if your credit score is correct. I got to respond to something. I am still getting people asking me about FICO. I mean, I really don't know what's going on here. I'm going to make this very clear because, you know, I'd rather say it on camera than in private because I think I'll lose my head in private. There is no FICO used by SBA. SBA does not use FICO. So please stop asking about FICO. It really is like... it makes me dirty. I'm like, why do you keep on asking about FICO? Next thing is, a lot of people keep on saying that they're having problems with Experian on the telephone, that Experian is telling them that they only do Vantage 4.0. Not true. They do Vantage 3.0. There are people on the telephone that are telling you that, but there are ways to get your Vantage 3.0 score. If you don't know them, look them up. They're all free. There are apps that you can get the Experian 3.0 score. Don't ask me or a mentor to look up your credit score for you. You run a business. You should be able to look up these very simple things. And when I tell you, and when I've made like 900,000 videos about Experian Vantage 3.0, you shouldn't be coming to SBA and saying your FICO score is this. It really just shows that either you're not attentive to what SBA does, or you think you could do it a different way. SBA only does it one way. Vantage 3.0, it still exists. You can still get the number, and it must be 590. A lot of you have talked about, I can't get the score up because of this and that, and you never made a call. You can get Experian credit score up. You just call up and get the adverse entries removed. It takes a couple days. You always can get an adverse entry 1 or 2 removed. It's very, very simple. And then there's a thing called the Experian Boost, which is free, that can raise your score by 20 points. A lot of you say, I don't know how to get them on the phone. What's their phone number? Do you have a phone book next to you? Can you look it up for me? Can you call them? Can you deliver them ice cream? You know, come on now. Let's get to the program. All right, so the next thing that a lot of people are asking is about multiple applications. Yeah, so if you if you have your own business, but you're also a Lyft or Uber driver, and that appears as your Schedule C, you could ostensibly have two different loans. You could have one for your incorporation and one for your Schedule C. Next, there's a lot of viewers who have multiple businesses. Each business can get their own loan. I've had a lot of viewers who have gotten multiple loans for each of their businesses. Just make sure you keep everything correct. Each business has their own EIN. Each business has their own their own business address, their own banking account. A lot of people ask me a very obvious, Captain Obvious is all over today's broadcast, a very obvious question. They say, when I apply for my business loan, do I put my personal banking account number? It's like a Blaine 66 voice. No. It seems so obvious. Business account, business name, business EIN. Why would you be mixing things together? It's very, very, very obvious. If that's the way you conduct your business, I'm sorry, because, that's not the way business is supposed to be conducted. Business has a business EIN and a business account and a business checking account and a business address. It shouldn't be your sister's social security number or your your mistress's jump house. It shouldn't be these other everything should be lined up correctly. So that is that. Next, when you're applying for the loan, understand that the loans are very well processed and go very quickly if you get everything done smoothly on your end. Finally, the loan collateralization, and this is a really big issue. It has not been an issue. It has changed the focus of this channel much differently, and now that we're at about day 95 of this channel. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe to this channel. We're like 122,000. Let's get to 125 tonight. Let's see if we can do it. When you apply for a loan with SBA, it is collateralized over $25,001. Now, I did a gazillion videos about collateralization, and collateralization means they can take your bank account, they can take your car, your truck that conducts the business, they can take your furniture, they can take, your desk lamp, they can take whatever you use to run your business, working capital. I did a lot of those videos, and there were literally thousands of you who accepted loans exactly at that amount that that guy, LALATE, kept on saying, $24,900. Now, I did say you take exactly $24,900, but people seem to love to take things a little bit literally with this channel. So they took $24,900 loans, and they got them. So they were offered, let's say, $30,000. They didn't want to be collateralized, so they dropped it down to $24,900. Great. They weren't collateralized. Now, here's two things to think about. This is where everything has sort of changed as this pandemic has changed. A lot of people now say in discussions that they need more money for their business because they don't think their business is going to survive during this pandemic, continuing the way it is until January 2021. They're saying, hey, I took $24,000 when I thought we would be more back to normal by September. I thought that was going to be enough. Now I realize it won't save my business. I need more money to save my business. And so they're now saying, I need more money. That's fine. That's ultimately a decision you need to make. The good news is that loans are not due payable in the first year. So if we get the vaccine in December, that we get back more to normal by middle or early next year, you can give back the whole loan if you don't need it. You can give it back. There's no early repayment penalty. And the good thing is you don't have any interest or principal due in that first year. So it's not like, there's that concern. But if you're taking a loan, you need to make sure that you can pay these bills going forward because, if you're collateralized, they're going to come and take the collateral. Now, here's another thing, as the bugs are just really picking up. It's not me trying to fix my shirt. It's the bugs tonight. It's a summer hot night. Here's another thing to consider is that if you don't have collateral, there's nothing for them to take. You need to think of whether or not you have collateral and whether or not that collateral is, how do you say it, very obvious. Then there's nothing for them to take. An example is a truck driver whose truck is registered at the business owns the truck, And then you default on your loan. SBA knows that truck is there. They will come and take your truck. Now, if you have a truck, but you don't own it, you rent a truck from a local rental system, well, then you don't have collateral. That's not collateral that they can take because it's not yours. You're just renting someone else's truck. That's what you need to think about and be, smart in when going through this process of choosing how much to ask for. Next. Just because you want to increase your loan doesn't mean you can just increase it to anything. It's like, I've had viewers the last few days like, I want $200,000 loan. I want $140,000. I'm like, okay, let me see your cost of goods sold and your revenue 2019. So we take revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. Oh, comes out to $5,000. I'm like, and you got a $20,000 loan. So SBA gave you a $20,000 loan, but we do the calculation, you only qualify for $5,000, and you're coming back and saying you want $120,000. That's called pressing your luck. What's behind curtain number one? What's behind curtain? No, we are not. I'm not Monty Hall, and that's not going to be the game show I'm playing. It's not happening. Now, if you want to do it, you can do it. They're going to get shot down, but no one is going to help you in the private on something so silly as that. You need to understand what you qualify for a loan increase, and ultimately, if you do, you can go through the process. And loan increases, for some strange reason, are now going through recon. Yeah, I don't know why. So you email recon, you start the process, and that's it. Really quite interesting. Ultimately, the good news is that SBA wants to give money. They love to loan. They love to loan a range. They like to loan $50,000 to $150,000. They like it because they want to make money on interest and principal and everything. They don't like loaning $2,000. There's no money in it for them. They like a business that exists. So if you've been around, for 2 years and that EIN's been around for 2 years, that's great. I mean, they know you're there. Or it's your personal Social Security number. That's great. They know you exist. It's these people that sort of show up. It's like, yeah, Jennifer's Dance Creations. And Jennifer just out of Atlanta and, only has receipts on Saturday evenings. You know where I'm going with this. It's like, what kind of business is this? Well, I'm an artist. And what nights do you work? I work late night on Saturday nights. And I really go pay by cash. Well, it's that type of stuff that they just don't want to be around. They just really, really don't want to be around. So if you have anything that's, normal, then, the likelihood of you getting a loan is very high. I got to tell you, the likelihood of getting a loan is very, very high. The only thing is Experian Vantage 3.0, not 4.0, not 2.0, not FICO, not TransUnion. I think this would be obvious, but I have to say it. When you go to look up Experian Vantage 3.0 and you go to websites and they have like different credit scores to check, when the score comes back and it says FICO on it, it means you just got a FICO score. Some people really just don't realize that. And let me explain this a little bit clearer. So apparently, a lot of people don't do this on a normal basis. You don't check your credit on a normal basis. There are different credit agencies that are different products that are owned by different people, FICO and Experian. They're different products. And that each score tracks different things. So Vantage tracks something totally different than FICO car loans or whatever. And Vantage 3.0 tracks something different than 4.0. So if you tell me that I can only find 4.0, or the person on the phone said they only have 4.0, hang up the phone and figure out how to get it somewhere else, because they do have 3.0, and that's what SBA uses. It will track a different number. And the reason I'm saying this is very simple. If you have a FICO score, it doesn't express what your Experian Vantage 3.0 score is. Why is that kid, LALATE, talking about scores so often? Because ultimately, this is a very, very simple process we now know. When this channel launched, we had all these Vortex viewers who were stuck, that were unable to move in March 30th and April 1st and April 8th and March 31st. That stickiness is generally not happening as rampant as before. So if you got your numbers lined up correctly, you got your score strong enough, and it's over 590, loans are getting approved like that. I mean, they are literally getting approved like that. The only times they're not getting approved are there's some inability to verify your identity or something you did incorrectly. And so the vast majority of viewers, like the Indian restaurant out of Las Vegas that I detailed in last night's video, I mean, they were a streamlined application from late March, just getting approved now because of this channel coming into August. April, May, June, July. They had to wait 4 months to get their loan approved because the systems, the computer systems that SBA used then were messed up. They're not messed up anymore like that. So people who apply literally are getting loans within 24 hours. They're working their systems, whether they're independent contractors. I don't know what it is. They're working. If you have questions in today's video, drop them in the comments below. The private is in the description below if you want to get assistance and talk to a mentor. There are 2 mentors. You'll be sent a link to get into the private. Follow the instructions about how to get into the private. Once you're in the private, you'll be sent instructions on how to speak to the 2 mentors, and they will assist you going forward. As always, stay motivated, stay inspired, stay focused. Coming up tomorrow morning, join me on Mornings LALATE about 8:30 Pacific Standard Time with big, exciting, great news about the check and the stimulus package. Like and subscribe to this video, share it with your friends, and have a great evening.